If you know about the
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a second and 5.
Lucky 56.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 19-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll power his way up near the 25. The former first-round pick Shane Ray in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. High five, baby. High five. Let's go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Carr. And Cook has it left side. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. From the gun, it's Carr. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And Denver getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Gordon. And some room to run now. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one 28 yards on the ground. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Let's go. Green 39! Green 39!
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Leopard! Leopard! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Here we go now! Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Set! 319! 319!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now Oakland ready to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. He's at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
694!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
29! 29! Now, you ready?
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Hot!
False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman, certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39! Hot! Hot!
He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
All right,
from the shotgun. He'll look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one goes for 24 yards.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
the speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this.
You got 56 there. Yo, Chief. Down. Wide 8.
Looking to throw on second down. Carr into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return will stop right around the 25. Intended that time for Cooper. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Now let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going underneath for Gordon. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Now back to throw. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. One man in the backfield, that's Gordon, 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19. Gone.
They'll look to throw again. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they're throwing interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now after the INT, it's Carr sliding out of the pocket. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Shotgun now for Carr. Powers through. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The Raiders on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's good. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is taken at the 18. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So the Broncos coming out now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. On first down, Carr throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
6-18. 29. 29.
From the gun, Carr. And complete right side to Cook. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Going up top. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And his throw here's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit.
Back to throw here. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Play action. Now it's Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. They'll give him 8 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give him 30 yards there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Over the middle, Cooper with it. That one goes for 24 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's to the 10 and down to the 7-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Again, it's Richard. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hot.
He'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter. Number 4. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Runs through the contact. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Carr finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 3rd down. losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. Give him 30 yards there.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
And they'll find Sutton on the right side complete. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll come out in the pistol.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Leopard! Leopard!
On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Carr to throw on second down. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Third and 4, and this crowd urging on their defense. They're up and making noise. They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Call that a 48-yard punt and made even better by a loss on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Leopard.
Now a handoff. This is Gordon. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now. The Broncos in the hurry-up trying to get to their positions and get set quickly. On 3rd down, that's Gordon. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Gone.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Tahir Whitehead in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. The Broncos on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. This is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. He'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. First and goal, a touchdown and a two-point conversion here are musts.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
He's back to throw. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. And it's incomplete. And now we're down to 10 seconds. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, second and goal.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll set up a throw. And this is caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a two-point conversion.
We'll break down the touchdown later. It's two-point conversion time. Go to your script, pick your play, and go for it.
The late touchdown was only half the battle. Now they need the two-point conversion to tie the ball game. Incomplete, 7 seconds remaining. And no doubt they had to go for 2 to tie the game. Now they need a miracle on the onside kick.
They gave it their best shot. Can they pull it off here and maybe get one of those onside kicks that bounces perfectly, and they can grab it and run it all the way to the other end zone? That's what they're down to at this point.
So now with little time remaining, they'll have this and maybe one more play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.
Money bag. Money bag. Money bag. Looking like a money bag. Money bag. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just with plastic. I say, babe, it's he said it's a them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, yeah, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money bag, 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 money bag. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He make sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? And I look at my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Every lay, waist snatch, back, shrink back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my, that's why they call it trampoline. Back on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just with plastic. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, yeah, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money bag, 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 money bag. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just with plastic. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, yeah, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag, money bag. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money bag, 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 money bag. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Sideways, sideways.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving at rude boy, I'm waving at you boy, ran off on the two like True Goy, imagine me do boy, you could never do what I do boy, still ducking that I did boy, in Paris for a hit boy, these ain't the same type of hits boy, can get boy, you don't take these type of risks boy, cause this boy been throwing that like